Welcome back to the non-traditional veterinarian. I have two very, very special people here today, and we'll go into a little bit of how we met because it was definitely divine intervention. I have Lisa and Scott here from Woof Creek Pet Wellness. We're laughing because I always have to enunciate the name. And I can't wait for them to talk about, how they got started, why their products really are something to be talked about, and their mission behind it. So welcome, Lisa and Scott, to the non-traditional veterinarian.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you, thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for all that you do for all of the wonderful pets out there, including our own girls,
I love
Lily
it.
and Layla.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Dr. B, our girls are laying right here at our feet,
I love
and um, you coming into our place and being there and taking care of them as a regular visit, we didn't have to leave. They didn't freak out.
They were very
They met you
comfortable.
outside, and as soon as when your best friend meets somebody, if your best friend likes them or not.
so true.
And both of my best friends really liked you right off the bat.
Well, I
And
really, really like them too. I really
cool.
and so a little bit of back history. So I met Lisa first before I met Scott, and it was total on a whim. We both were at the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association conference back last September. It was in Palm Beach. And we were actually just talking about that. We're hoping that we both see each other again in this coming convention in California. And I was just walking around the conference exhibit hall and just beep bopping around, just kind of curious. It was my first time at this conference, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm amongst my people here. And I'm pretty sure, Lisa, you saw my tag and it said Tampa. I think that's what like drew you in, right?
Yeah, I pretty much freaked out.
Because Lisa here, I'm based out of Tampa, Florida, and Lisa and Scott are very local to me. And we're like, oh my gosh, Floridians, we're in Florida for the conference, but to see, our own kind of region. And we just started talking and we kind of just hit it off from there.
Very much so. And I freaked out. Literally, our pet parents have we were on our fifth vet. It is, as everyone knows, it's so hard to find a practitioner who is open enough to be looking at expanded modalities like you have, like you were at the convention to do, and just whatever the modalities, that open mindedness to support the pet parent where they want to be. And so when I saw Tampa, I was like, oh my God, we're scheduling with you. You and I were at several sessions together. Like it was kismet for sure.
She called me excited because I didn't go to that one. So she
Yeah.
called me and she's like, "You're not gonna believe this." And I was like, I don't believe it.
Like in our backyard,
Yeah.
someone who's going to come to the house.
At
Like
first,
what?
she had to slow down and explain it to me because I didn't even know what she was talking about. I've never heard of such.
A
Yeah.
mobile holistic
I,
vet.
I probably said, "Are you talking about a groomer? And why is a groomer a doctor? I mean, that's kind of neat to get a doctorate in
It's like,
grooming."
no, this is real blood.
So
So,
speaking of like neat and different, I think what you guys have is neat and different. I want to like tell the people about it because I don't know if you remember, Lisa, at the booth, my eyes were just like deer in a headlight, but in the best way. I was like, wait. And it's so funny because much like you, I was looking for what you guys offered for my dog. And so
oh, very.
it was totally, like you said, kismet. So tell the people like your products, your company, how you got started, when you got started, because I think that's such a cool part of your story.
You don't want me to start. I'll never stop. You go.
Well, he has a passion and a deep knowledge of nutrition and sourcing. Scott is Chef Scott, 35 years executive chef, and we had a restaurant in downtown Tampa up through COVID and never reopened after COVID. But what we did open was the door to our first and second pandemic puppies, Lily and Layla, they're standard poodles, and um, a lot of opportunity for active pups who then started demonstrating allergy symptoms. And Scott immediately clean treats, um, ingredients that are adaptogenic, novel proteins. And we started seeing the improvements in our girls and then our family and our neighbors. And we're like, okay, COVID got us to a business 2.0, and it's been heaven. Woof Creek is his brainchild, and Lily's. She's licking Scott right now. And from from the stress support and allergy support that he developed, it went from there. And as you know, Dr. B, it's a rabbit hole of what we learn in the opportunities for natural support. Scott certified as a canine nutrition specialist. Yeah, those were the first two. And medicinal mushrooms. And then just the rabbit hole, we learned about the flea and tick chemicals and what we could do differently. And Scott didn't balk when I said, please help me replace these chemicals. I don't want the monthlies anymore. And he did it. He searched and connected with the clinical data and the other integrative vets in the industry, and created a supportive blend that is not just repellent for flea and ticks, but also upgrades the digestion, upgrades skin immunity, and then omegas. I'm looking at everything, hip and joint, all the things. He can't stop. In fact, today he said, I have something. I'm like, you know what? Your hair's already gray.
You put the kibosh on me.
Let's just do this, and then help become a resource connecting with more holistic vets with our products and beyond. So that, see, you said you couldn't stop. I can't stop. Did I miss? Let me.
You're good.
You go.
You're good.
And I want to plug in right now. If you're listening to this episode on Apple or Spotify, there's a link for you to watch it on YouTube. Definitely watch the video because they're showing their products. And when I talk to clients about the products, I always talk about the packaging. Your packaging is so, and I would love it if you could show it. Your packaging is so intentional, no plastic. I love that even the spoon is wooden. Like you guys are so intentional about how it is being cased, how you refill it, every little tin can. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that drew me in even more. And then how they're refilled. Yeah, they're refilled in these packaging, so you're being resourceful. Yes, I love it.
Yeah. If you're not able to see it and you're listening, what I'm holding up is a tin. It's made of metal, and inside the tin is our powdered supplements. It comes with a cute little spoon and a magnetic spoon holder, and the spoon is, like you said, wooden. We really, really think about where the ingredients are coming from, where the materials are coming from to package. We think about, I cannot say that we're 100% plastic free because there's still some regulatory stuff. I have to wrap these things in plastic. I really wish I didn't, but I'm always looking for an alternative. Most of your omega fish oils on the market are going to come in plastic. These are glass, and that is so important. Glass is completely inert. It's not, it's dropping chemicals. It's not, we take on that challenge, and I call it a challenge because we're shipping glass all over the country, so we really have to think about this from the shipping end. And even in the shipping end, we're really doing everything we can to keep plastic out of that too. We have, recycled envelopes, boxes with paper tape and things like that. We really try very hard to do that.
Composts. That was like the start, like from the restaurant time, which was new to me. And another rabbit hole. Like once you go like sustainable, like you're always thinking that way. And it's a little addictive and OCD, right? Like we can't stop. So like Scott's like, so we're gonna have to use labels that have to be ripped off to recycle this. I'm like, let's go try to find labels that he's always looking. Like there is no stopping, because why not focus our energy on our pets and the planet that we love,
It's so cool that not only have you created products, and I can't wait for you guys to dive into like what products, because I recommend your flea and tick product to everyone and anyone I can. I'm like, hey, you got a pet? Do you want to talk about flea prevention that maybe you want to swap to? But I love that you're also thinking this even more holistically. Like you're thinking about like sustainability and the earth and usage. And I think it's just so wonderful that you didn't just stop at creating even just one product, right? Like everyone talks about when you're in business, like get really good at one thing. But I feel like you guys have like really hit the nail on the head with so many great products. And when I was there visiting your girls in November for their visit, I just to also kind of like have a peek into it and how many products you guys have. And like I said, I didn't know when I met you guys in September. I was just like, oh, cool, like a stress relief. We talked about a stress relief supplement for my dog and then a flea and tick. And I was just so happy because I was literally thinking, I want to do flea prevention because I don't have a flea problem. I don't want one. Luckily, I
Mhm.
don't really have feral cats around my household, but I've seen the clients come in where their pets are infested with fleas, and I'm like, no way do I ever want to deal with that. And so I'm like, what can I do that I feel comfortable with, not only maybe protecting my dog, but also in a way that I feel aligned with. And so it was literally like I walked in and it was like you just rolled out the red carpet and you're like, here we are. And I was like, oh
You-
my gosh, sell it, please. And it's just it's incredible and it's so easy. You're not shoving a pill down their throat. You're putting it on their food. So tell the people about your products because
You got
Thank
it.
you. So it was
The
play.
all of
All play.
our all of these, I call them my heroes because I love these guys. There's five of them. They're in these little tins. This is the
A lot of
flea and tick
planes.
that you're talking about, the flea and tick. And the reason there's one very important reason why they're powders. As I was developing these, I was looking at other products, and most of the other products are chews. Even some of the flea and tick meds are chews as well. And one of the things I was learning as I was building these products and as I was learning how to feed my girls more fresh food, we started like many pet parents start feed and kibble because that's
yeah.
all we knew. Took about 2 weeks for me to figure out that wasn't a great idea. Anyway,
Upgrade.
looking at all the products on the market, I start breaking them down. I'm like, okay, what is this section here that says inactive ingredients? So I'm reading inactive ingredients, glycerin,
Sugar.
oats, sugar. I'm like, why? Why is it in there? Everything I just learned, I don't need inactive ingredients. So I took out all the inactive ingredients, and if it's a chew, it falls apart and turns into a powder. So what? You know? And that's one thing that I had to learn to understand is all these products are being marketed to me, not to them. They're not being marketed to them.
To the pups.
And they really would love to be able to just have the food in front of them. So we sprinkle it right on and it's good to go. Um, with our flea and tick, which the one you're so excited about, and I get it. Our flea and tick, we have a glass bottle with a spray top, and that's full of our
Topical.
topical. It's organic, scentless. Um, um, the soap is the first ingredient, and that soap is Castile soap. It's all organic. It's made from coconut oils and things like that. Why does it have soap in it? Because we need something to help it stick to the fur, right? The next ingredient, actually, the first and most abundant ingredient is water, and then we add soap. But the real, where the rubber really hits the road, where the spray really hits the fur, is neem oil and a blend of essential oils. And all these essential oils, through my research, are shown to really upset bugs. You know, they just don't want to be around it. In fact, when mosquitoes start hitting here and we're out in the backyard with the girls, not only do they get sprayed, but we do too, because the aroma of it,
It's great.
it's very strong, but not bad. And I'll say too, before I move on to this, if you have pups that or cats, it's great for dogs and cats. If you
Hallelujah.
Some of them don't like many. I can't imagine a cat likes the sound of this being
Yeah.
sprayed or having anything sprayed on them. So we have figured out that you can pour this into one of those foaming soap dispensers.
Uh-huh.
And the viscosity of this is perfect where it'll foam right up on your hands. You can just squeeze it right out, rub your hands together, and then spread it right over whatever, you know.
Actually, you don't even need the dispenser. You could just spray it on your hands.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the spray action does freak most pets out. But the key is that I'm using it at markets where you've seen me at markets around the bay. I definitely, if we can trust it on our skin, we can trust it on their skin and fur. And the multi-layering, depending on the environment of a pet parent. So some do, like you said, have feral cats.
Yeah.
Some live in larger properties with meadows and forests. You definitely need to be appropriate to your environment. And sometimes that takes multi-layering. So we have this, we use proactive management, like Scott mentioned mosquitoes. We don't go out at dusk in mosquito season or at dawn. And there's ways that you can work with um, our world and pests and succeed in natural prevention and proactive
Yeah.
management.
And also, I
Uh,
think remember when I first met you, correct me if I'm wrong, when you were talking about the flea and tick, that I think
Mm-hmm.
you had gone hiking with your girls in North Georgia or North Carolina somewhere.
Yep.
You used it and you didn't have one tick on them because you used your products. Am I correct?
6 weeks, we had a family of 9 deer at the Airbnb where we were, and we hiked daily. And I brought this. We wonder sided the lawn that we were at,
I'm
but I
wondering.
was hardly in the lawn with them. We were in the woods day in day out, and yeah, I hardly used this after a week. Only this. And by the way, this in conjunction with upgrades to their diet and their lifestyle and stress reduction, that all matters too. But yes, we definitely have huge success with the flea and tick powder.
I love it.
most,
Use it. I recommend it all the time.
thank you. Yeah,
What are
most of
like
the,
top products?
what are the top ones?
Yeah.
Flea and tick. The one that she
Yeah.
came to me and said, we need a flea and tick product. And I'm like, that's impossible. There's no way we can make that. Yeah, that was me. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. I'll give it my best shot, And I made the flea and tick, and now it's our best selling product by far.
Yeah. 5 years, no chemicals in our
Yeah.
girls or on our lawn. Yeah.
And then the one after that is the allergy and immunity support. And the reason why the allergy and immunity support is so popular is because we all need allergy and immunity support, right? And
immune support. It's a stellar
and honestly,
blend.
Doctor, all of these, every one of our products, even the hip and joint, especially the gut support, they all really do help with the immune system because they all target the gut. We start at the very, very center of our pets and then work our way out slowly.
Say it
Right?
louder for the people in the back, please.
Right, that's it. And the reason why each and every one of our 5 hero products have a blend or a single functional mushroom, aptogenic mushroom in them. Reishi mushroom for the immune support, turkey tail for immune support, chaga mushroom for inflammatory gut, chaga mushroom for inflammation in the joints as well. That's in 2 different products. And one of my favorite mushrooms is lion's mane. It's a beautiful mushroom. That's one of the stars in our flea and tick support. Excuse me, in our stress support.
I have it in my coffee every day.
Lion's mane is so good for cognitive function.
It is.
And that's why these products, they're not just supplements. That's what they're classified as. They're not just supplements. They really are an extension of your pet's holistic lifestyle. And the reason why is because they're made with whole foods. They're made with whole foods and they are great for the gut. And then each one has its own little functionality that it can help attack, And
support.
If you're looking, let's say like Lily and Layla, they're very active. They're 7.
No, they're 6.
Sweet girls.
They're 6.
They're 6 years old, extremely active, but they get hip and joint support 3 times a week.
Smart.
Proactive, right?
Since 6 months, we've been doing that and move into the omegas because that's a huge thing too. Can we switch to the
please
move into the omegas?
I gotta say a couple more things about the flea and tick.
Please do, because I love that.
I'm very excited about a few things on this. Historically, brewer's yeast, garlic have always been good for pest protection, pest repelling, and so forth. I took that a step further. Well, number one, fresh garlic, fresh garlic, fresh garlic. Get fresh garlic. Use fresh garlic if you can use fresh garlic. For me, I can't do that in one of these powdered products, so I look for the most gently dried freeze-dried garlic that I can find, so that holds as much of those properties as possible. That's what we got. Boom. Brewer's yeast, yes, but we go a step further with our brewer's yeast. Using an enzyme, we crack the cell walls. And by cracking the cell walls, it does a couple of different things. It makes the beta glucans more bioavailable and releases more than it would naturally. It also makes the mannins more bioavailable, and it makes that entire food more digestible too. And also, all those beta glucans help the digestion and boost the immune system. And that's the real beauty of our flea and tick defense is you're not adding a poison to your dog. You're adding a defense support. Your dog, our cats, we all have defense mechanisms. Our world gets so noisy that it quietens that down. Noise of weird or bad diet, noise of pollutants in our environment. So we can use this to boost that, to quieten that noise, so that the bugs can hear the noise coming off our pets, right? And
Yeah.
say, I don't like that noise.
So
So
intentional. Like, wait, it's just not just flea and tick. Like the intent behind it that, hey, let's prevent the flea and ticks, but let's think about like the methodology behind it and really try and elevate their health while we're giving this to them.
that's it.
That's the thing.
We're not treating symptoms.
What I didn't realize until Scott like rightfully bragged about the product, it exudes from the skin, so that the allicin in the garlic and the brewer's yeast, the thiamine, the super B vitamin, it repels scent wise and other items in it. But more, it creates the healthier host. Pests want unhealthier hosts. That's where they go to drink the blood.
Like a cleanly environment versus a dirty environment. Where are you likely to find pests?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you something interesting too, and then I'll move on to the omegas. We stopped spraying our environment around us with pesticides. Maybe when we got
Oh,
when we
for
got
us.
the girls, yeah. Um, there was already a contract with the house, and they were spraying. We stopped. I have not. The longer I have not sprayed, the fewer bugs I've seen.
We use DE maybe in the corners
Yeah,
of.
diatomaceous earth here and there, but I hardly ever get ants in the house. I haven't seen a roach in years bang on this wooded head. And other than in my garden and places where they're eating organic matter, they're not coming in the house because my outside world is alive.
Yeah. Hey, I have one other thing.
Mhm.
One other thing. So I'm sure you get more than we with your clientele. No one wants fleas. No one wants ticks. And some people have they just decide to stick with the chemicals and do other benefits, which is fine. Every pet parent does what they know to do for their lifestyle, which you and I aligned immediately on.
Yes.
When people are using the chemical, we want to remind people that those chemicals, the isoxazoline, in the way it works is it's a bite to die. So a pet will still get bitten, and then yes, the pest will be dead, but the bite has happened. So that is the second reason we really wanted to introduce a topical option for repellent to go in conjunction with a natural or a chemical regimen, especially at the tail end of a month when the Simparica or the Bravecta, whatever, is starting to fade. So this is a great way for pet parents who aren't sure about the natural course. Please, at least, there's other great products out there, Wondercide and Kin and Kind. Ours is per our own scent, and we wanted glass, but use a natural topical so that you protect your pets to the right degree, and then go from there. But it really is it's interesting that we don't realize that part. We need the full month's protection.
Wow.
So that was my thought.
And then that was a great kind of segue. So I have a question. So if someone's thinking, okay, I use Simparica Trio where I'm doing maybe flea and tick and heartworm. Like how can I incorporate this? So they would use the spray and not use the powder, or they could use the powder too?
Well, they the powder is great because of the immune boost in the skin. So yes, please use both.
Yeah.
I mean, just the mushroom, the broccoli powder, the organic coconut oil, like please. But if you're just using the Simparica flea and tick, use the spray. If you want it to be replacing the flea and tick chemical, yes, our powder. You still do need heartworm if you're in a high heartworm region, like
Yeah.
we are in Florida. And there are you'll hear from Dr. B on what she recommends for the single heartworm. And there are some natural courses. We've also seen enough rescue pets that come with heartworm, and the regimen for getting rid of heartworm is like heart
Devastating.
wrenching.
It's very
So,
hard.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good
well,
note. Get with Dr. B if you're listening and you're thinking about going completely holistic. Don't goof around with heartworms,
yeah,
especially depending on where you live, of course.
yeah.
Ready for a parade of omegas?
Let's do it. Let's give the people what they want.
All right, so we have a few different types of omegas. This I'm holding up a bottle of algal oil, and that is it's a plant-based omega, but it's extremely rich in DHA. It's made in a very interesting way. I'm a science geek, so I kind of love the way it's made. And I wanted to mention too, one of the things that you get when you come to Wolf Creek is two worlds, right? You get two worlds. You get Ayurvedic, Lisa. She's very well tuned into that world, and science, me, because that's the world I'm tuned into. And
That's
we
so
figure
cool.
out where that goes together, and that's how we create the stuff, you know. Algal oil is made in tanks, stainless steel tanks. And the reason it's made in tanks is because it needs to be a controlled environment. Algae does grow, almost anywhere, but we want to control because it absorbs so much of its environment. We want to make sure that what we're putting in the tanks is heavy metal free and toxin free and all that. And so that's what you come up with, a very controlled environment.
In
And
the US.
made in Iowa, I think. And you can um, it's a great it's a great omega for young pups when you really want that brain push because it's heavy in DHA, right? Also great, excellent for older dogs too when we want to support those declining cognitive years. I think I need a big hit of this too, those declining cognitive years.
Use it.
Um,
Well, may I?
please.
Okay. So the rabbit hole of the eco sustainability,
Mm,
that's we we really have noticed very sensitive pets and the time and money it takes to diagnose what a trigger will be. This has no animal protein. So when people ask us, well, what to start with, often it's a single or limited ingredient, one less variable, and it is a plant based. Super high in DHA means inflammation control by 4 times, but it's less oil, which sometimes oil can be a little tummy
Yes.
rumble.
Yes.
And in conjunction now with another plant based that combines well for a balanced DHA and converting to EPA, which I know Dr. B is all about. Those two are the name of the game when we're talking inflammation, brain development, hip and joint, heart, eye health, all the way through to mobility. And those are our favorite things. Like you're talking sustainability and you're talking proactive so that by the later years, we're still puppy energy, man. We
So,
can do that.
yes.
We can do that.
And
So, okay, continue. Sorry. Was that,
I
did I,
no, you. I love hearing you talk about the products because we both have different perspective and we learn from each other all the time. We're researching different stuff all the time.
yeah,
Um, yeah, these are the two plant based, the algal and the ahi flower are they're really great together. And speaking of sustainability, the ahi flower they grow in they're flowers that grow in fields in England, and they discovered it like at a bus stop. It's a weed that grows, so it grows very easily. It's non-GMO. It doesn't need any pesticides.
love
Um, it's just a scrappy little weed that's learned how to survive, and it happens to be very rich in an omega called SDA, and SDA converts really well to EPA in dogs. Not so well in cats, but I take ahi flower oil daily along with algal oil to get that little balance for myself.
And that one has no fishy scent and
There's no aroma I can
at
smell at
all.
all. Yeah.
Every parent that we get questions all the time. My own parents, they're very busy in their retirement years, and they host and they care about what their dog's breath smells like. This is amazing because my mom will give my brother dog, they'll give this because it doesn't have a fishy flavor, and I'm happy because the pup
The,
is getting an anti-inflammatory
You know
boost.
why I love it too? Would you believe this if I told you that on my intolerance testing that I do uses bioenergetics? I have so many pets. Now, I haven't done that many cats
Okay.
because I see a lot more dogs. The cats
yeah.
out there, people are like, "Do you see cats?" I'm like, "Yes, I love cats." Would you believe that I don't have an exact percentage, but I'd be willing to bet. I'll give you my phone, and this is my business right here. 95% plus of the pets that I test are highly, not just intolerant, highly intolerant to salmon and salmon oil. So
Wow.
being able, because people are like, oh my gosh, what do I use? And it's like, okay, there's sardines, there's eel, there's anchovy, but look at all these other products and again, the intentionality behind the sourcing that because parents will sometimes come to me and be like, they want plant-based this, plant-based that. It's like, but where are they sourcing from? Because plants are really exposed to chemicals. So you
Yeah.
guys have really encompassed like so many beautiful avenues with this, with like the sourcing and the intentionality. Again, I keep saying the intentionality because you guys are so intentional about like where you're sourcing this from and the ingredients to be mindful of. It's not just okay, well, for the ones that either can't tolerate fish or the owners can't tolerate the smell, that like you just take it like a step further of like, yes, not only is it plant-based, but it's non-GMO, it's not sprayed, it's in this
Yeah.
glass bottle, it's the DHA and the EPA. I mean, it's just like layer upon layer upon layer about elevated, elevated, elevated.
Yeah. It
Thank
drives
you.
us nuts. It
It
does.
does. But
You know.
like we're those choosy parents
Yeah.
of our girls, and
Yeah.
if we look, he doesn't need more products to make. We try, but sometimes it's just not out there,
Yeah.
and so he
I
has
mean,
the
that's the way I
ability.
raised my human kids. They've never seen a bottle of Jif unless it's been in the grocery store. It's my peanut butter has one ingredient, peanuts.
Yeah.
That's it. And, when I moved into this industry, I brought a few very important things to me, my interest in nutrition, my interest in figuring out, the science behind things like why do I boil a black bean before I cook it so it's soft? Why do I need to split the yeast open so it's absorbable? But one of the most important things I brought is that farm to table attitude
Mm.
of looking around, and even if you can't get it close to you, because honestly, it's hard to find a boswellia tree or frankincense tree in my backyard that comes from India in our hip and joint support. But that same philosophy is knowing where it's grown, getting to know the people that are vending it, and that's all really, really important because you learn their philosophies and why it's coming out of the ground and what kind of ground it's coming out of,
Yeah.
you know?
It's
And
much sweet.
that you said that because I've been talking about with clients that is especially when like the nutrition part is that we assume that our food, our ingredients has certain vitamins and minerals. It depends on where it's sourced. What is that soil like? Is that soil highly treated? Is it depleted? Are we trying to farm somewhere that is not really was not intended to be farmed? So
Right.
there's so much more to it that yes, you can feed organic and you can feed non-GMO, but like what is the sourcing of these products? Because are we kind of feeding like empty fruits and vegetables? Because if they're grown in poor soil, we're not getting the nutrients that we need, which is why we need the supplemental support sometimes, whether it
That's
is
right.
vitamins, minerals, or supplements. But like you
Yeah.
got to have the intentionality again of the ingredients that you're putting in there and the sourcing.
And your customers, your clients can come to you and say, I feed my pet the best. I'm sensing an imbalance. Well, and a lot of times it is because of that. It is because of the vegetables or the fiber you're putting in there aren't grown, or the proteins are, maybe not grass fed or something. You don't know exactly where they're coming from. So that imbalance is still possible when you're feeding the best diet.
And that's why I tell people, and I said it today. I say it all the time, but I said it to a pet parent. I was like, that's why I don't believe in chasing perfection. Let's chase intentionality. Because when we
Yeah.
chase intentionality, then we kind of just arrive in perfection land, perfectionville. But when you chase perfection, you are going to drive yourself crazy and you're
Oh
going
yeah.
to end up dropping some balls because it
You're
just,
going
like,
to burn out too.
you're going to burn out. And it's almost like, I use the example of someone who wants to be perfect in the gym or like a perfect physique. You are going to drop some balls. It's inevitable. You're gonna either like your diet is gonna have to be very, very strict. You're gonna probably have very little social life. You're gonna give up a lot of freedom and flexibilities, and that's fine if that's what you want. But you're gonna drop some balls. And I think but when you're an intentional, everything just feels more cohesive and attainable, and it's more digestible, no pun intended. And then
Yeah.
when you're chasing that perfectionism, it to me, yeah, it's like it's a burnout, and then you end up dropping other balls and you get stressed because you're striving for the perfectionism rather than let's be intentional. And then, oh my gosh, we got it right just by being intentional.
Also, you're bringing up a huge point with intentional within our reality versus the alternative. Our stress, our cortisol, I, that affects our pets
Thousand
so
percent.
much. They're right, the most highly attuned. And so forget all of our supplements, forget about all of them. Center, breathe.
Yeah.
We meet people all the time who have a billion supplements and tools and modalities up the kazoo, and they don't know how to juggle all of it. And that's like, well, let's simplify.
Yes.
Breathe,
Yeah.
breathe.
Yes. Speaking of
That,
simplifying, can you
yes.
like run through we talked about your fish oils. You have a flea and tick. You have an allergy. You have a joint. Like what? Because in case people are like, oh my gosh, they don't just have the flea and tick that Dr. Belmonte talks about. They have way more. So like, what kind of products do you guys have? If you guys, and you don't have to like go into detail, but like, what products do you
Yeah.
guys have?
Okay.
We also, for Happy Fun Time, we have a handful of treats too. Yeah, we do Ocean Bites. It's where I've blended whiting, Pacific whiting, with cranberry. Boom. It's great for cats. It's great for dogs. That's it. It's freeze dried. Those two ingredients. We have freeze dried minnows.
And they are for the positive function of enjoyment and enrichment for our pets.
Yeah.
Lifestyle. It's all about lifestyle and wellness. Continue.
What else do we do? Oh, chicken and pumpkin crunchers. We have chicken pumpkin crunchers. It's just human grade chicken breast and pumpkin. That's all it is. And they have such a loud crunch. And these beasts at my feet love it. And I call them beasts because they act like it when I pull them out. And
But
what
like
else do we have?
for function, every aspect of lifestyle that we want to help elevate for our fellow pet parents, right? So
Love it.
the hyper focus of pest prevention naturally, mobility, common stress support, immune system support, which goes hand in hand with the gut support,
Yes.
and then our omega line, which is essential for all of it. And then Scott,
Yeah.
he's coming out with a single ingredient ashwagandha, which is a booster for all of these things. Yes.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. We will have, and that's one of my favorite relationships when I'm talking about sourcing things. It's from a family in India, and many of your listeners will have heard of it. It's KSM 66 ashwagandha, and KSM 66 is not a very romantic name at all, but it when you see that designation, you know that it's incredibly tested. It's organically grown. Uh, it They use a milk soaking process to extract the ashwagandha, the compounds from the root. It's fascinating, and we'll be bringing that online as a powder, not a pill, in literally the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to follow suit with some more single ingredient stuff for someone like you that wants to prescribe something, but you don't want to prescribe, 6 or 8 ingredients like in our other powders. You
Yeah.
want to maybe just
Controlled.
follow up with some bovine colostrum or something, that sort of thing. Yeah.
And
I'm
I'll
honestly.
forget that you guys have treats. So I'm so happy that you brought that up too.
And those rotate too.
You're gonna have to grab the shiners from me at Hyde Park
Those are the
next time.
minnows.
Yes. And for
And
those of you listening, if you guys are local to Tampa Bay, tell people like what markets you guys go to. You guys go to
So yeah, so our farmers market calendar is under find us on our website, woofcreek.com. And I tell you to go there first because the weather here is sometimes a little, but Hyde Park and Lakeland and Water Street, but 24/7 go to our website. And we love for people to do that because there's so many resources. Kay Stewart of Feed Rail, who, she has been helping us with great resources and research for pet parents. Our team is always looking at new enrichment and Scott's clinical data. It's all available on our site. So beyond our products, we just really want to help match pet parents with the right fit, connecting them with holistic vets that we've been dreaming
which
of.
is such a good feeling to be able to tell folks about you.
Gosh, you don't know.
So sweet. So tell people where they can find you. I would love that.
Okay.
Social, website, etc.
Yes. Woofcreek.com. Instagram, Facebook is at Woof Creek or at Woof Creek
Wellness on Instagram.
All through our website. So Woof, WOOF, Creek.com. And there you'll find everything, our socials.
Yeah.
You'll find our events calendar, any local markets. We ship all over the country, including the islands in Hawaii, Alaska. We are in Canada, and we're with several wonderful integrative veterinarians like Dr. B.
I love it.
And our website too, you can reach out to us at bark@woofcreek.com and talk to us. We answer every email, every phone call, every text. And if it's something that is challenging, it gets pushed up to Lisa or myself, and we respond with all the information we can, and sometimes very long-windedly.
And I will say that I can vouch that they do. When I went to go see their girls in November for their in-home visit, I believe Lisa was ending a phone call with a client. So even though they are a very big company, they have stayed true, I feel like, to your values, that it's still them that you're dealing with and talking with, and their wonderful team. I've met some of their team members personally, and it's still very intimate feeling. And I have to say, meeting Lisa first, and then I met you guys, and I was in your home, and you guys just feel like the human version of a hug. You guys are just so sweet.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
I love the intentionality. Again, I keep saying it, but the intentionality, I mean, just I could really talk to you guys all day long about like the thought you put into all the ingredients in your products. And it's really cool to see it grow, like the vastness. And I'm just so happy to have a product that I feel so comfortable recommending. And I have to do better, honestly, now that I'm putting this out into the interwebs, that do better that you guys have so many more products that I'm just like flea and tick, because I think that's the easiest product that people think about, that they're
we get it.
Not giving it, and they tell me, they're like, I'm not giving anything. You can see them clench up. I'm like, this is a safe place. So I'm like, tell me more about that. Are you just not interested in giving something, or have you just not found something you're aligned with? And most of the time they're like, I just don't want to give certain types of ingredients or certain types of products. I understand. And so let me meet you where you're at. And so here's some options for you. And the way people light up and they're like, there's something like that out there. I'm like, I know. I felt that same way in September. And I was with one of the founders. So I totally understand. So I really hope that the people can find you. And they're such a resource. And I can't wait to see what other products you guys come up with in the future. And really going to contribute to pets' lives so that they can live better and hopefully live longer.
That's what we do. And when you just said, thank you. And thank you for all you do. And what you just said with meeting parents where they are, that's us. That's our philosophy. There is no shame in this game at all.
Absolutely.
And there's parents that come to us and their dogs are bowel problems or whatever. And I know it's the diet, but we talk about it. It's never, you have to do this. No, let's get there. We're going to, I like to say, we're holding this leash with you. We're gonna hold this with you, and we're there. We're on the walk. Let's go.
I love that. Well, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you, Doctor
B.